back, supporters of the Hoard, and thank you for joining me this evening for another unboxing video. Tonight I'll just be doing a short unboxing of one booster pack of the Monster Menagerie 3 line from the Icons of the Realms, as well as the Laeral Silverhand's Explorer's Kit. So I'm going to go ahead and start this one off with the Icons of the Realms Monster Menagerie 3 booster. I've previously purchased quite a few of these. I believe a whole brick was one of the early purchases I made to start the collection, and I got quite a few Frost Giants out of it, which was great because of the encounters I had planned around that time. Now I'm hoping to maybe get a little bit of a variety, perhaps a Cloud Giant, or if I'm really lucky, the Storm Giant, so I can use in my upcoming encounter for my Storm King's Thunder. Okay, so the large pull out of the Monster Menagerie 3, which has a wide variety of giant options. I have received the Fire Giant Dreadnought. So if you guys are familiar with, I believe it's Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, they kind of release variants of all the different kind of giants. For the Fire Giants, there is the Fire Giant Dreadnought, which is this kind of monstrosity that's a brick wall, steel wall here, just shields. So again, fire giants are scary enough, but you drop this thing down in front of your party and they're going to think twice about fighting. They may consider retreating, as unlikely as that is for a D&D party to do, in my experience at least. But yeah, so behind these giant spiked shields, there is quite a cool looking fire giant that has a nice armored upper body and helm. They do have some nice coloration all along the legs and the ridges of the armor. Yeah, very cool, very detailed. I do have one of these in my collection, but that is absolutely fine to add a second one of these. Now you see the shield is actually, I'm noticing, a little twisted, so I'm just going to kind of form that back into place. That's okay, maybe like that. They're kind of straight on now. Try to get past that. Alright, so that's the Fire Giant Dreadnought as the large pull for this booster. I did just get my booster today to try to get out before all the stores closed down here. Okay, so here's one of the small pulls. It's just going to be a regular kobold. I've added quite a few of these lately to my collection, but they roam in packs of 6, 8, 10, 12. So the cool little tail and the little short sword there. Got the little backpack. Again, very cool addition. Okay, so here's one that I have not seen. So it is just a goblin, I guess, but it's a very unique goblin here. It's got a torch in its hand. That is actually a very cool looking. Can't really get that in focus for you here, but yeah, it's a very cool detailed miniature here. Nice coloration and a little bit of a different form to throw into your goblin Hoard. Instead of the regular short bow and daggers, this one actually has a torch. Perhaps this is a player character, or like a friendly NPC goblin rather than just an enemy. Because more and more these days, players like to be oddball races. Kobolds, goblins, things like that. Okay, so for the final pull on this one, it is a wereboar. So this is a wereboar that's actually wielding a great axe, which is pretty cool. I believe there's another one that's wielding a warhammer or whatever it is. But yeah, so I mean, the wereboars are a very cool looking miniature. They got this boar face, but the humanoid body, this little red nose on them, striped face. Very cool. Very, very interesting mini to have. Okay. Now the next part of this unboxing is going to just be the recently released Explorer's Kit that came out at the beginning of March, along with the Critical Role Wildmount, Guide to Wildmount campaign setting. When I first heard about this release, I had thought that it was going to be in conjunction with another campaign, perhaps like some of the other dice packs and Explorer kits have been released with. But this one was released with the Guide to Wildbound, which I'm pretty excited to get my start into, because unlike my brother and a few of my other friends who have watched Critical Role, I don't have the time other than to see a few scenes here or there, which, don't get me wrong, are amazing, and I definitely get some laughs from them. But so I don't know anything about Wildbound, about Tal'Dorei, anything like that, so I'm definitely looking forward to opening that up. But today we have Laeral Silverhand's Explorer's Kit. So essentially what this is going to include is a bunch of reference cards, people of interest, places of interest, all written with descriptions from the viewpoint of Laeral Silverhand, who is actually the Open Lord of Waterdeep currently, after she had unseated Dagult Neverember. So yeah, not to get too much into the lore here, but Laeral Silverhand is definitely a very powerful spellcaster, and she is known as the Chosen of Mystra, or perhaps the Daughter of Mystra. So there's a few spellcasters throughout Faerun that are the Chosen, or the daughters of the God of Magic, and because of their connection to this god, they have extremely high spellcasting powers. She is a very interesting character for fans of the R.A. Salvatore Legend of Drizzt series. Her sister, another Chosen of Mystra, is actually Lady Illustrial from Silverymoon. So that's where I originally had heard about these Chosen of Mystra, and when I got into the 5e D&D, I was introduced to Laeral Silverhand, who is the Open Lord, like I said, of Waterdeep, and she is another one that is chosen, and was actually raised by a well-known spellcaster, Alminster. So she has a lot of background, a lot of lore, so people that are new to D&D or new to the Forgotten Realms may not understand how important maybe her viewpoints are, her notes are on these places, peoples of interest. So I thought it was a cool way for them to kind of put this set out there. And just to start here, for all you dice goblins, they have, I believe they're 30 millimeter D20s, and they have the classic D&D symbol as the critical roll, and it looks like just the regular one for the other ones. But yeah, these are some very cool, beautifully colored dice. It's not really coming through very well on my screen here, but if I can get some close-up pictures under the right lighting, you guys would definitely appreciate that. So they give you a set of D20s, as well as 4 D6s. Not that you can really see it very well, but yeah, I like the coloration. Very cool dice set. The silver on this blue here is very crisp, stands out a lot. So again, if I can't get it looking nice on the video here, I'll definitely post some pictures to the Lord of the Hoard Instagram page, and you guys can kind of see a better detailed photo and coloration of these, but they are definitely very nice. So it comes with the 4 D6, the 2 D20s, you have the percentile dice, you have the D10, a D4, a D12, and a D8. All of them with that same nice silver crisp tone on this blue. It's really not coming through too nice here, but I'll make sure to post those pictures for you. To be honest, before I even knew any of the contents of the rest of the kit, I wanted to get it just based on these dice. I've been really enjoying their releases that they've been putting out. The Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus had a cool dice set and dice tray. And there was a few other ones that came with some very nice dice. Actually, the Essentials kit came with a set of dice, red clear dice, even the Rick and Morty starter set that they released, which was actually really fun. Came with a cool set of green, yellowish colored dice, and it would really fit the tone of the campaign. You know, it had that Rick and Morty slime look to it. But these ones, same thing, that silver really stands out here, which is, you know, very nice when we're talking about Laeral Silverhand. So along with the dice is this beautiful dice tray that comes in it. So they have this compass on the front, very nice design and artwork. Together in harmony is the slogan on this here. So yeah. It says on the side here, the path to Faerun's wonders is endless and fraught with danger, but one you'll never walk alone, according to Laeral Silverhand. Again, very, very interesting character. so much power just walking the streets of Waterdeep. So these are kind of the cards. So it starts with actually a nice fold-out map of what looks to be the whole Sword Coast. I won't waste too much time on this, but it also gives you, so you can see there the entire Sword Coast is kind of shown there, as well as a quick map of Waterdeep, which if you have not received the Waterdeep Dragon Heist or a map from there or anything like that, or the rollout maps that they have sold separately, that's very helpful. And it's always nice to have an extra smaller copy on hand, just for referencing. You can kind of see the scope of things, and even hand it out to your players and not have to worry about having the DM notes and legends on there, right? So a very key thing to have. And then basically, it looks like it just goes through some of the major places in the north, in the Sword Coast. So we have Icewind Dale, we have Waterdeep, we have Port Nianzaru. So not just the Sword Coast, I guess, all over Faerun. So Port Nianzaru from Chult, Neverwinter, Candlekeep, where she actually, again, a little bit more lore on Laeral Silverhand, she actually spent some time in Candlekeep with her sister, or the other chosen of Mystra. So there's a note here on Baldur's Gate, and then here's where it gets interesting, because she has some notes on some of the other big hitters or big names throughout Faerun. So we have Xanathar, we have Mert, we also have Vajra Safar, which is the current Blackstaff within Waterdeep, which is a position of power. Dritstowarden, which, as I'm sure many of you, or similar to many of you, I started off with the Forgotten Realms as a Legendary Drits fan. I didn't even know when I started reading them in high school that it was actually part of the Dungeons and Dragons universe or anything like that. I just fell in love with the R.A. Salvatore. I believe it was the Hunter's Blade trilogy, so it's the Thousand Orcs, and where he kind of, not to spoil anything, but he kind of gets back into his primal hunter form. So yeah, I mean, major player for sure. In my hearts, is one of the original inspirations to, I guess, my D&D path. So then here's Lord Dagult Neverember, the former Open Lord of Waterdeep. Jarlaxle Menagerie. Again, anyone who's a fan of the R.A. Salvatore novels knows how great of a character he's become. An anti-villain, anti-hero, whatever you want to call it. So those familiar with Waterdeep may also know about the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which lies below the streets, and that's the Mad Mage himself, Halaster Blackcloak. So there's a lot of good notes here, a few that I don't even know about. So I mean, I'll have to read these and kind of brush up on my own knowledge here. They have notes here on the Zentarum, on the Harpers, who again, Silverhand actually spent some time leading the Harpers or being a part of them early on in her day. So yeah, very cool, very cool. Definitely packed full of content, packed full of beautiful art now that I'm looking at it. And yeah, so if you're a big lore junkie like I am, and it's one thing to get online and kind of click on a few links and kind of go down the rabbit hole that way, but if you can kind of get the sense of the whole lay of the lands and the big hitters all from one viewpoint, and from something that's like actually canon and within the universe, rather than getting muddled down with some of like the outside people describing it or telling you what's going on. This is like a first-hand view of a very powerful NPC, very powerful player and character within the D&D world. So like I said, for the little bit of money that I spent, I didn't get this local, unfortunately. It was from Amazon, but with Amazon pre-ordering, you can always get the best deal. So I tend to do that sometimes for the new releases, and that was able to save me quite a bit of money. And definitely made it worth my while with these notes that I'm gonna have to go over more and more. So yeah, to me, just for the dice, these beautiful, huge D20s, and for the beautiful dice tray, which the interior of it's kind of felt lined. And here, why don't we do a little, okay. So as unlucky as it seems, the first roll was 13. I'll take it. If it was a death save, I would succeed. So, thank you once again for joining me on the Lord of the Hoard YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoyed this small, short unboxing here today, and I look forward to releasing more content for you in the days to come. So make sure you subscribe so you get those notifications. And if you've enjoyed this, like that video as well, please. All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.